There are moments in every woman's life, quiet moments, sometimes so subtle you almost miss them, when you feel the weight of everything you've carried, the disappointments you've endured, the hearts you've loved, the expectations you've carried for others and for yourself. Maybe you felt that weight today. Maybe it came with a deep sigh while sitting alone, or in the quiet of the night when the world finally lets you breathe. And in that stillness, a single question rises inside. Am I allowed to feel all of this and still be okay? The truth is, you are. Every tear you've shed, every moment you've felt unseen, every part of you that's been quietly hurting. It's all part of your story. And it's also part of your strength. Healing doesn't come in a straight line. It doesn't arrive in a moment of perfection. It comes in whispers, in tiny shifts, in the moments when you decide, just for a second, to be gentle with yourself. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman who felt broken after a chapter of her life ended unexpectedly. A friendship had ended, a love had faded, and she felt like pieces of herself had been left behind. For weeks, she replayed the moments over and over, asking herself if she could have done something differently. But one morning, as she brewed her coffee and watched the sunrise through the window, something shifted. She realized that healing wasn't about forgetting. It wasn't about fixing what had been broken. It was about choosing to hold herself with kindness, small, deliberate acts of care that reminded her she was still whole, even if her life had changed. Healing begins when you allow yourself that kindness. It begins when you give yourself permission to feel, to rest, to cry, and to let go. Maybe you've been telling yourself, I need to be strong all the time. I can't let anyone see me struggle. But strength doesn't mean hiding. True strength comes from facing your emotions honestly and gently, even when they feel uncomfortable. It also comes from recognizing that you are not alone. There are countless women walking similar paths, learning, hurting, growing, and learning to rise again. And even if you feel isolated, your story connects you to a quiet network of resilience, hope, and courage. Imagine this. You take a deep breath, place your hand over your heart, and acknowledge, I am allowed to feel. I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to heal. That simple acknowledgement can be transformative. It is the seed from which clarity grows. It is the spark that reminds you your worth has never been dependent on anyone else's recognition. Healing also invites you to reflect, not to dwell, but to understand. To see the lessons that past experiences have quietly gifted you. To recognize the ways you have grown, even when the growth felt invisible. And to prepare yourself for the chapters yet to come, chapters filled with love, peace, and self-respect. And sometimes, healing asks for courage, the courage to release what no longer serves you. The courage to step away from relationships, habits, or patterns that drain your energy. The courage to choose yourself, even if it feels selfish to the world. Because here's a truth every woman must remember. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot nurture others if you have not first nurtured yourself. Every small step you take to honor your feelings, to respect your boundaries, and to care for your emotional well-being is a victory. And over time, those small victories accumulate, quietly reshaping your life into something stronger, softer, and more radiant than before. So if you're sitting there feeling tired, warm, or uncertain, know this, your healing journey is valid. Your pain is real, and your growth is beautiful. You are allowed to take as long as you need. You are allowed to be gentle with yourself, and you are allowed to rise again at your own pace, in your own way. Every day you choose to love yourself, to nurture yourself, to honor your emotions. You are building a foundation that no hardship can shake. Take a deep breath, place a hand over your heart, and whisper to yourself, I am healing. I am growing. I am enough. If this message touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. There's more wisdom, comfort, and support waiting for you on this journey, and you don't have to walk it alone.